So I'm encouraging you that as I go through this, you return back. I've asked DJ to share the slides with you, but I'm sharing the slides as well so that we can go through it together. And I'll get to a stage whereby I'll be asking you to put some questions, some answers on the chat. I want to assure you that I want to finish at 1:30 as we have agreed as well. I was 1 minute late last week, so I will try to be on the dot this week. Okay, so DJ has just shared the link to you. So everything that I'm going through, you can click on the link. So you have your own link and you can then go back to it and make use of it. At the end, I have quizzes there, and there is a new quiz that I've added onto it that can help you to assess yourself. So it's just important that you use this as a continuous growth process so that you are able to focus on managing yourself, so that you can stay organized, you can be motivated, and you can be resilient, positioning yourself in this climate that we are now. Whether you are a new starter or you're changing career, and whether you have just migrated to the United Kingdom or you've been doing jobs that are different from, you're changing from jobs that are not necessarily related to what you want to do. When you own your meta skills, you will be in a better position to answer interview questions and to fill application that will be able to scale through the ATS. That's the automated, I can't remember what the T stands for. That's job scanning that just scans the job for you. So let's get on to it. And today I want you to understand, and more importantly, to cultivate the habit of self-management. It is the foundation of the meta skill that I talked to you about last week. For those that were not here last week, I will encourage you to go back and check the meta skill so you understand that meta skill underpins your soft skill. It's the skill that will help you to learn how to harness, how to enhance your soft skill. So, and I'm focusing this for people that are in ICT environment. So you can apply everything that I'm saying in ICT within an ICT environment. So as an introduction, we all know that the world is changing at a rapid growth. The changes that we've seen in the last 10, 15 years, the world has not experienced it for about 40, 50 years. The rate of change, and it's growing, is still happening so much. So people need to develop skills, because most of the things that humans used to do, we now have computers doing them. So this is where your meta skills comes in. And self-management in itself is about you, how you manage yourself. It is a high order ability that will support you in being able to navigate through the changes that you will have to go through to manage and to be a productive person. And why being productive? Not to worn out yourself, so that it's something that you can sustain over time and you can flourish. So the meta skills lay the groundwork for you to collaborate well with others, to be able to solve problems, and to be a productive person within a technical field, such as IT. So why self-management in IT? And for those of you that may be technical, or that may be doing other things, you can apply this to it as well. Self-management, it involves you controlling your own action, so that your action is result-led. You are setting goals, you know why you are doing what you're doing, and you are conscious of the time, because time, we can't regain time when we lose it. So when you are conscious of your own action, you are clearly setting daily goals, hourly goals, and you are managing your time effectively. then that would make you a productive person. We are all faced with so many distractions during the course of the day in our personal life, from our colleagues at work, from the internet, and even from the environment generally. We have a lot of distraction. So self-management is where you can hold yourself together. It helps you to prioritize your own task, to manage stress, and to maintain a very high level of focus, even in a complex situation. So the things I'll be sharing with you on self-management, I need you to begin to think about them and be honest to yourself. How much do you do this? And if you are challenged with it, then I would advise you to start looking at how to improve them. When we talk about self-management, there are core 4 elements here. And I'll ask you to just type the one. If anyone knows that they struggle with any of this, just be bold enough to write the one that you know you struggle with. There are 4 of them. Just type it in the chat. And there is nothing wrong. It's just holding yourself accountable to yourself that I need to work on this. Are you able to focus? Are you a person of integrity? Can you adapt in different situations? And how much do you turn your intuition into initiatives? Because intuition goes on in our mind, but it's only when we take action that the world will see our initiative. So don't let us be living in our mind all the time. Let us take initiatives. So these 4 things are the key elements of managing yourself: focusing, remaining a person of integrity, somebody that has value. We go into them one by one. Being able to adapt to situation around you and to people as well, circumstances, and then using your initiative. So I haven't checked what people have typed, but I'll go through that if time permits. Am I getting a question? Is someone trying to get my attention? Okay, I'll continue. So focusing, I'm going to go through the 4 elements, and I want us to be reflecting. When I have a client, when I'm coaching someone and they are dealing with, if it's self-management that is the issue, we will be exploring this in detail, session by session, so that they can, the one that they need to improve on. So in terms of focusing, this is your own ability to sort information. And I want you to see information as somebody just talking to you, something coming online, something that you're reading, and things in the background as well. How do you sort all this overload of information to focus yourself on the present moment, and also to filter distraction? So there are 3 keywords there: sort, okay? Being present, that is having the attention, and then filtering out distraction. So for IT professionals, you face constant interruptions from multiple projects, emails, notification messages. Maintaining focus is critical. And if this is an issue for you, you should acknowledge it and then begin to look at techniques to help you with it. So, for example, imagine an ICT professional working on a software upgrade while receiving multiple notifications from colleagues and client messages. In all of that situation, you have to focus. Focusing skills allow you to mute the non-essential, to just ignore the non-essential for a moment and complete the upgrade that you need to do, and also review client messages that may be having input in what you're doing. So for focusing, I'm giving you these practical tips. Sorting, use digital task organizer. There are different types. Try different types to categorize tasks. by priority so that you know priority. You can do it on a day-to-day. You can have your week focus. You can set your week focus and then you can do the day. And even in the course of the day, you can still go through that. Attention. Have dedicated time to be attentive, to make sure that whatever you choose to focus, communicate with yourself that I am doing this and give your full attention to that. It helps to strengthen your focus. So take regular breaks. That is very important. When you get a job there are normal natural breaks within any task that we're doing. Once you get to a natural break time, take that break. Even if it's just to take a walk, if you don't smoke, get out there and take a breather for yourself. This is where mindfulness comes in to help. And filtering, set focus hours where all the notifications are silenced to manage your cognitive load. You know, where you don't take phone calls, you don't take anything, just to filter things out and focus. So these three key tips, these three key elements are what would help you to focus. Sort them out, pay attention, and filter things as you're going. So integrity is the second element of managing yourself. And this is about acting consistently. So it's not on and off. It has to be consistent. And ethically, you have within the code of ethics of your personal code of ethics and your professional code of ethics as well. It's rooted in self-awareness. Excuse me. Many of us need to be rooted, being aware even of our own limitations as well. And it's aligned in your personal values. So integrity is not just, are you a person of integrity? You check if you are not. Why are you not? And what could you do? Because you don't want to create that impression about yourself. So integrity is vital in ICT, particularly in cybersecurity, data privacy, and compliance as well. So you must act in honesty and you must be transparent. Even when there is pressure to compromise your standard, you still have to remain a person of integrity. So there is an example there for those in ICT that you can read by yourself. But the core tips to help you develop your integrity is self-awareness. Regularly reflect. Reflection is you looking back at what you've done. Is that the best way? Or looking back at challenges you face, look at the lesson to learn, personal values and professional responsibility. I said last week that I think I did say it was in this group that I said it, that when you point one finger to other people, the remaining 4 is pointing back to you. So that's 80% is your problem. That 20%, you may not have control, but you have 80% control to make a difference. And this is rooted in self-awareness. Ethics, this is about you following privacy, your privacy guidelines, maintaining transparency with clients. That's very common with IT. There are lots of professional conduct as well that we need to know about in terms of your ethics. Self-control, we may be tempted. I see people coming to work and being distracted by activities back home and things like that. So it's about self-control, having time, and even letting your community know about how you have managed your time. Not picking a phone does not mean you are ignoring the person. I really would call somebody on their phone to call them directly. No, I will send them a message. When is the best time to talk to you? So allow self-control. Don't just be there all the time. This is about integrity. And when you say you're going to call someone, call them. A classic example tonight, a lady wanted to talk to me. Every time she's faced a problem, she will say, oh, Sam, I need to talk to you. And I know the best thing to do. And I said to her that I'll be available. I'm extremely busy, but I'll be available between 7 and 8 this evening. But 8:30, by 8, I'm going to get into a meeting and I won't be available for the rest of the evening. And I wasn't lying. I was telling her the truth. But I'm so glad that she didn't call. I used that time to have my dinner because I went to dinner and knew she wouldn't call. So the onus lies on her to call me because I told her that's when I'll be available for her. Now, I don't hold her a time until it's convenient for me. Thank you, Pat. Check yourself. Act in honesty. Be transparent with colleagues and clients. Thank you very much, Lady Pat. So, I'll move to the next one, adapting. Adapting, I mean, we have to deal with that. Most of us came from Nigeria. And it's the ability to remain flexible, to learn and continuously be learning. Alvin Toffler says that the illiterate of the 21st century are those that cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. And that will enable you to undo challenges in your life, in your career. So it's relevant to you as an IT professional. The practical tips to learn to be an adaptive person is openness, having a growth mindset, critical reflection, always checking back on what you've done. You know, you look at the situation, you look at the task, you look at the action that you took, and then you review it. You look at the result that you got. Could it have been better? When you're reviewing, you're not just reviewing to pat yourself on the back. You are also reviewing for you to see opportunity for improvement so that next time you're there, you're doing a better job. Resilience is you being able to embrace mistake and learn from the moment. It is essential for continuous improvement. Any mistake is an opportunity to get it better. So those 3 skills, being open-minded, critically reflecting on what you've done, and being resilient. So when you're going to interview, always think about this thing to describe the answers that you're given. Think about them. Show the evidence that you're open to correction. Don't go and bluff because they will see that you are bluffing. Just learn some of these things and use those words as well. Learn, these are buzzwords that you can use at interviews. Now, initiative. I said to you, turn your intuition into initiative. It's the confidence and motivation to take action. So if you are not taking action, it's just intuition. I mean, we will call it discernment. As Christian, we call it discernment. Explore new opportunity and contribute proactively. Okay. So it's very relevant in ICT, and I have examples there that you can read. But the practical tips for you as an ICT person is independent thinking, risk taking. Independent thinking is about trusting your own judgment. Well, most of you may work on your own and you have autonomy in what you're doing. So you are expected to make the decision for yourself. So you should be able to think and trust your judgment to make decisions. Sometimes you will have to take risk as well, small risk within a controlled environment so that there is a cost-benefit analysis to your risk. And it helps you to build confidence in what you're doing and in yourself as well, in your professionalism. And lastly, self-motivation. This is about setting your own personal goals, celebrating your progress, and always staying motivated, because the energy that you will sap away by not being motivated is more than the energy you need to be motivated. So you might as well, no matter how bad it is, Pick yourself up. This is where your resilience comes in. Pick yourself up and then be ready to be positive again so that you have the right energy to do what you need to do. In a coaching situation where I'm with people that I'm coaching, this is the type of question that I'll be asking you around focusing. So I'm putting it to all of you as a challenge that this question, you will see it on your screen, on the thing that I've presented. So what I'm saying to you is go to these questions. In focusing, the question there is, I have two questions there. How do you handle distraction when on a complex task? Ask yourself that. That helps you to reflect. And if you're doing it right, acknowledge it and keep doing it. And you may be in an environment where you are so focused and people might even criticize you for doing the right thing. So you need to be aware that you are doing the right thing and be your own best motivator. So that's the question for focusing. There are two questions there. In integrity, I have a question there for you to reflect on integrity. This is something that you should do by yourself, or you can do it as a group. And I would encourage you to discuss this with somebody else, or even record it to yourself, or write a note so that you are actually reflecting that you are doing the right thing. And when you feel that you are not doing it right, then ask questions. Adapting, I've got two questions there for you to reflect on adapting as well. And same thing with initiative. So I've given you the self-management side as a building block for you in the journey of meta skills, remembering that meta skills underpins learning your soft skill. So if you're struggling, and soft skill is what most organizations are looking for from ICT people. So by owning your meta skill, especially with self-management, you as an IT professional, you'll be better equipped to manage the complexity and demands of your roles. So I encourage you to take these skills and use it in your own continuous development. This is what I will encourage you to do. Now I'm going to come out of this thing so that you can see the quiz. Sorry. Escape this. Okay. So below here, you have meta skill quiz. This is where you can assess where you are in your meta skills. And the soft skill is where you can assess where you are on your soft skills, and you can learn a lot of lessons there. This is about combination of soft skills, your competencies, and your meta skill as well. So it's a bigger quiz than the other two. So if you want to learn more about meta skills and begin to use the vocabulary of it at interview and even at work and in self-reflection, then you can use it. So thank you, everyone. That's the end of my presentation.
If you say, for example, would you suggest that one picks an area to say, okay, I'm going to zero in, and then would it be a case of working on doing a test, working on, like doing the quiz, working on an area, and then just how would you assess your progress is what I guess the question I'm trying to ask.
Okay, sorry, I didn't get your name.
Tona.
Hello, Tona. Now,
Good
that's
evening,
a very good question and it's very practical, it's very real. What you are asking me, if I get the question right, is that how do you assess your own progress?
Yes.
Yes. Now, the first thing you need to track is where are you? So you need to tell yourself, if it's focusing, scale yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. How much do I focus on a task? And be totally honest to yourself. You may say to yourself, I'm a 3. And why do you think you are a 3? List all the reasons why you are not a 6 or a 7. The things that you recognize, you understand. And then when you read about focusing, then you begin to see those things. You are bringing them to your own consciousness. And you know, anything you bring to your consciousness, it leaves they are there in your subconsciousness. So you are now in control of your actions. So anytime you're doing contrary to your new information, you would hear from yourself that, oh, well, you said you're going to be filtering things. You said you're going to be doing that. So that's how you will know that, oh, actually, now I'm doing that. Sometimes you might even have gone the old way and you call yourself back to order. And then set a time that you're going to review your progress. And also, sometimes if there's something that is very tough, you can have an accountability partner, so that somebody that you can report to, that they're checking on. This is where coaches would normally help with things like that, or even a mentor would help you with things like that. But even you, without going through to anybody, you can do that on your own by having a benchmark for yourself, and then assessing. You have to identify the things that you need to improve on. Does that answer the question for you, Tona?
Yes, it does. That's perfect. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So, okay, Damisola.
Thank you, DG, and thank you, Sas. So my question is in relation to ADHD, and I appreciate that this might be a little bit out there, but based on our community and even as adults, the diagnosis for people with ADHD is on the rise, especially when it comes to adults. And with that knowledge, of late, there have been different shifts in the workplace to accommodate people with different to accommodate people that have ADHD, for example. So the reason why I'm asking this is in relation to self-management. For someone with ADHD, that would be different. And also some people, especially from our community, some people might have certain struggles that they're not even aware of, might be related to ADHD.
Yes.
So if we were to draw some, maybe some inspiration or draw a connection between ADHD and how to self-manage, would you be able to provide any tips for that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. ADHD and people on ASC spectrum are special people. And I work in a school. My area of expertise is working with the hard to reach. Now, for an ADHD person, or even those on the spectrum of autism, they already would, when most of us from Africa, some people are not diagnosed, but you can recognize in your relationship with them that there must be an element of either ADHD here or some form of autism that are not diagnosed. Now, those type of people, that is why I said to Tona earlier that it's individual. So if you now see that you are trying, let's say focusing, for example, for an ADHD person to focus, there is a lot of effort that will go into it. And when they get the focus right, when they are focused on one thing, they're a genius on that particular thing. And that's why organizations like 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓 and other places actually look for them specifically to do tasks. So really, when you recognize that there is a condition, whether diagnosed or undiagnosed, your own honesty to yourself that I struggle with this and I've done everything and I realize that it's a cognitive issue, then such person should then limit themselves to doing the best thing and always asking for help that I can't do this. And even as adults, you can then go and look for help to get diagnosis. But in a situation where you have been diagnosed, then there will be reasonable adjustments at work to allow what you can do. And you will disclose that in job interviews as well. So what I'm saying is that individual case will be different. and you can still apply the principle, but where you know this is cognitive issue for you, then you should not push yourself, because you might be putting yourself under stress, or you might be putting yourself in a panic zone whereby you become paralyzed, not even be able to do anything. So that's what I would say to such people. Did I make myself clearer there? If there's anything you want to add to that, please do add.
Yeah, you did make yourself really clear. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that. So last question before we close for today. Biodun, please.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good
Mr.
evening,
Dave.
Biodun.
Good evening. Sorry, I just took the quiz and I just wanted to ask, does that mean that there's no room for improvement? Because it just says here, congratulations, Biodun. Your deep understanding of meta skill and soft skills competency is impressive. But it didn't tell me any areas of improvement. It just says you are well equipped to succeed in any career paths. I'm not
Okay.
sure you.
Okay.
I think.
Now, you know that the quiz, this is what I would say. Thank you for your question, Biodun. This is a very good question, and thank you for bringing it out. I will say to you that it's important that you are as honest as possible when you are answering any quiz at all. That's when you can get the thing. Now, if you were 100% totally honest to yourself and you are somebody of a high level of self-awareness, then that means that you must already be thriving in whatever you're doing. You're just checking to validate what you know about yourself. So really, if you already have it, then you've got it. But like I said to you, Alvin Topher, you continue to learn. You just keep harnessing that skill in you, because you might be somebody that everybody's saying you feel you know it all. You feel you know it all, but really, you may really know it all because you are applying the right skills. So I will say to you, Biodun, I don't know you personally, and I'm just saying that check that you are because sometimes we answer what the ideal should be rather than the reality of who we are. You understand my point, Biodun? And I'm answering everybody. I'm saying
Yes, I
it's a big question that you put there, and I'm glad I should have even said that when you're doing quizzes, please because you're not competing against anyone, you're doing it by yourself so that you can see it's not even for you to want to pass or to want to fail. It's just for you to think about it really, that area I do struggle. So this is the real reflection that you're doing to identify areas that you should be improving. It's just it's a reflection aid. So that's what quizzes are. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Did I answer your question? Does that help you, Biodun?
Yes, it does. It does. Yeah.
Yes was dragged. If you have any concern, please. Your yes was dragged. So if you have any question, please ask me.
No, it actually does because yeah, when I went through the quizzes, I just click on what is applicable to me. I missed there were some questions I missed anyway, but I was not expecting to get that. I missed like 2 questions. I was not, yeah, maybe I was thinking maybe it's just gonna alight, yeah. Maybe that's, I don't know. Yeah.
So those 2 questions that you missed, thank you for that. It's even nice that I probed you further. Those 2 questions that you missed, that's the area for improvement for you. But you in a spectrum, you are already at the high level of it anyway. Do you understand what I mean? So those 2 areas, then you can then go and look at those 2 areas that actually I do struggle there, and I can begin to focus on that. So you can go back to the question and identify those 2 areas and begin to further develop them so that you are a well-grounded person in everything that you're doing. Okay, we're always learning. And some of those 2 may not even be relevant, because all the meta skills may not necessarily be relevant to what you need to be doing. You understand what I mean? So you will look at how important is this in in my career.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right.
Right,
Thank you
DJ.
so much. Yeah, on this note, we're going to draw the curtain. Thank you so much for this session. So we're going to meet again. Yeah, 9 o'clock to 9:30. Hopefully, we are able to finish at that particular time. So, or if you do miss any of this is recorded. We'll put it on YouTube. And if you still want to take the test as well, the quiz, so please go to the link that already been sent out, so you can go to that place. So yeah. Thank you so much, Sam
Thank you, DJ.
Abayomi Soyombo for.
Thank you, Lady Pat, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Adegberu,
So,
and everyone that sent the message, and everyone that have the thank you message in their hearts as well. Thank you.